Hi, I'm Julie Marie, the creator of the Protective Diet, and I'm so excited to show you this technique video to make my onion rolls, burger buns, or mini burger buns. And these are a totally whole grain, whole food recipe that I created. It's very innovative and it keeps the buns soft. So we don't have to buy those health food store expensive buns anymore. We can make our own and freeze them in the freezer, and these buns stay nice and soft. That was my objective in creating this recipe, because so many homemade breads get hard unless we add a lot of additives to them, like extra gluten or oil or eggs. So this recipe is completely vegan, plant-based, and whole grain. So I'm just mixing up my dry ingredients with my moist ingredients. And once it starts to come together, then I'm going to use my hands. This dough is amazing. It doesn't stick to the counter, so there's no need to flour the counter. Once we get this incorporated, we'll put it out on the counter to work it a little bit more. But this is a simple bread recipe. I encourage anyone, if you think you're not a baker, to give this a try, because you'll be so rewarded with how easy it is to make your own whole grain organic buns or rolls. So I'm going to put this out on my counter. And I'm just going to knead this together. And I'm kneading this maybe for 60 seconds until it's nice and soft and there's no more dry flour bits. This is a neat bread recipe too, because you don't have to flour up your counter, so you're not making a big mess with flour. I'm all about speed and efficiency, and I don't want you to have to clean up a disaster after trying to make some burger buns. So this dough is all incorporated together. It's nice and soft. And for the large burger buns like this, we're going to cut this into 6 buns. So I'm just going to roll it out a little bit. I'll cut it in half and then cut it into thirds. And if you want to get really technical and you have a kitchen scale, you can weigh this out. And your buns should be about 4 1/4 ounces each. You're just going to roll this into a nice ball. And I would roll all of these into a ball and put them out, place them out evenly on your baking sheet. And then you're going to press them out into the size you want your bun to be. So I'm going to make some of my barbecue burgers later, and I'm using a burger press that's this size. So I want my bun to be slightly smaller than my burger, so my burger sticks out the edges a little bit. Makes it look a little more appealing that way. So this is a nice round shape. You can go around the edges like this a little bit, make it perfect if you want to. If it's not a perfect circle, it's still going to taste amazing. You'll be so proud of yourself. And then I want you to wet your fingers a little bit. After you've formed all of your buns, you would do this next step by wetting the top, and you can top it with different toppings. If you're making the onion rolls, you can top it with chopped onions. These are chopped dried onions, and I want you to coat the top heavily with them and then press them in. You could also top it with sesame seeds alone, or you could put all the toppings on and make them like an everything bagel or an everything bun. These are toasted sesame seeds. These are black sesame seeds. You can put a few of those on there. We have poppy seeds. Now, if you're making these for kids, you might want to stick with just the classic sesame seeds, because this might be overwhelming to them if it's new to them. So press those in, and then you're going to allow these to rise, and it will take about an hour, and they'll puff up nice and high, and then you can bake them. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make the small burger buns or sandwich rolls. This recipe makes 12 of the mini buns. So you're going to cut them into 12 pieces, and they're about 2 ounces each, if you weighed this out. And 12 mini buns will fit on a baking sheet this size, or 6 large buns will fit on a baking sheet this size. And you're going to go through the same process, and with this bun, I make my mini burgers using a ball jar lid, which you can check out the video for my mini burgers. And so I want to make the bun just slightly smaller than this ball jar. That's my guide. These are a great size for sandwiches, for kids. It's not an overwhelming sized bun to hold for little ones. That's about right. We'll do the same thing at the top. And this one I'm going to keep just with plain sesame seeds. Something that's very familiar to kids. Or you could leave them completely plain. I hope you'll give this baking recipe a try and start accumulating some of these wonderful buns and freezing them in your freezer. Just toasting them out of the freezer, they'll be perfectly fresh and soft again. And for more recipes like these or this one, enroll in Protective Diet Education and start eating your way to a slimmer, healthier you. Take care and best of health.